Morning, YouTube. More M4 Mac Mini drama. This is the greatest thing on earth. It is so awesome. It's not even glitching on me. And a week later, I bought so wrong with 16 gigs of RAM. What was I thinking? Very common for a lot of these videos now. Okay, so guess what? You'd think by now, especially with channels like this that have been through all the M series chips, they would have learned something about Apple by now. Apparently not. Anyway, hey, you know what? You do whatever you do, okay? I'm one of these people that I know this technology pretty much inside and out for the most part, in many areas. Still a little bit of an infant when it comes to certain things with Apple Silicon, obviously, but we all are. But I do understand the whole SoC thing. I understand gaming. I understand what it takes to game on a computer, if you're looking at Macs for the gaming aspect. I also understand that not one damn computer they've ever made for a laptop that had the Signature Pro was actually a professional level computer, okay? Because it doesn't have the performance that a professional level computer needs to have. That's why they had things like the iMac Pro, which could be juiced up rather raunchy for a lot of money. And then they have the Mac Pro. Very super expensive, super high-end stuff. And now, of course, we've accelerated past that stuff, at least as far as video editing and all the other graphics crap is concerned, other than gaming. Gaming is still a very weak link with Apple because they keep crippling our damn computers with this efficiency core crap, okay? Now, even efficiency core stuff on PCs where you have efficiency and performance, it works the exact same way. You run an efficiency app like a browser or a picture viewer program, something that's low powered, that's fine. But if you run any app that requires horsepower, performance cores, all that crap gets shoved up into the performance cores and all your efficiencies are shut off. They don't do anything except get a little warmer because they're on the same die as the friggin' performance core. So they have to generate heat, but they don't do a damn thing because you can't run both sets at once, okay? And so when you look at a 10-core machine here from an M4 Mini or any of the 10-core M4s, okay, in this case, like the Pro laptops, right, with the same chip, it's 4 performance cores and 6 efficiencies. It's a performing 4-core chip. It's about a gigahertz and a little bit quicker, or maybe about a gigahertz quicker than the M1 per core on the performance side. But guess what? That's nothing to write home about. And that's not going to improve things a whole hell of a lot. Okay? So it's kind of one of those things. And I've been seeing some mixed results back and forth and back and forth. And stop paying attention to all of these people doing synthetic tests. Pay attention to when they do real world tests, because that's where it's at. Synthetic tests are bullpunky. I do them anyways just because everybody else does, and it still gets me hits on my channel, and I got to do something to make money, so hey, I'll do them anyways. But they are really not to be relied upon, okay? Now, we've had the Wi-Fi issues, we've got the video issues. So far, nobody's come to me and said, Cav, I'll send you a machine. Somebody, I mean, it's $800. I know it's a lot of money, but I really can't afford to spend $800 because I don't have it anyways. But I also can't afford to buy 2 computers when I do get my new financing this year. I need to buy one and one only. But if you want the Wi-Fi issues resolved and the video issues, I need the machine. And I'm pretty damn sure I can solve the video issue rather quickly by just telling you this. Try different HDMI cables if you're having video issues, okay? The chances of it being your screen are pretty slim. I've already had people coming to me that's like, I've got a really old display and no issues here. Okay, good. And that means they also have an adequate cable that's going to work properly, because cables can be an issue, okay? They really can with computers. And I've seen it happen myself where, yeah, I get some pretty shitty results with a cheaper cable. I've seen expensive cables give me shitty results, and vice versa. It's mixed. You got to kind of play around with different cables so you find what works. Whatever works and is stable, good. You're good to go. Because I don't think it's your monitor that's going to be the issue, all right? I think it's going to be a cable issue there. The Wi-Fi thing I'm very concerned with because there are 50 to 60% or more of users that are having Wi-Fi slowdown issues with the Mini because of friggin' devices. Now, I have definitely more modern devices than a lot of these other channels are showing, and that could be, I may not exhibit this problem, but I know where I can get my hands on some older shit, because I got a buddy that's got a lot of that stuff, and we can borrow some of his stuff, because I'm sure he won't mind, and we can do some testing with that, and see if maybe it's because of this, that's why. Now, we can talk about radio frequencies and radiation all day. That's a whole thing, but there is that involvement. Maybe some devices are putting out more rad levels of heat, which is radio frequency as well involved, that is definitely causing some havoc with the Wi-Fi. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi card that they're using. I don't know. I can't dive into something I don't have in front of me, right? And if I'm going to avoid the warranty on something, I'd rather be at something that, you know, somebody was kind enough to donate to the channel. But if I go and I look into a computer for myself, with the financing I'm going after, once again from the same company, because we've already been talking a little bit about this. I don't know what kind of limit I get this time, but if I get enough, then I'll definitely be able to get a lot more than a mini. But I'm going to be hung now for 5 years probably instead of 3. But I am looking at a mini right now as an immediate, because my contract ends beginning of next month. And then we're going to renew a new contract if everything goes well. And if we do, then I'm going to say, look, I need this amount, and let's work out this deal and go from there, okay? Now, the studio is not due to be released until spring or summer, okay? I really do not want to put things on the hang that long, okay? I would rather get this done sooner. But I also know this system, and I know exactly what the core counts are here. I'm looking at a 14 core. It gives me 10 performance cores in this configuration, 4 efficiencies. I still don't like the efficiency because they're garbage, they're useless, and you can't use them for much of anything for very long. Like if you launch Safari or Google Chrome or whatever damn browser you run, that's an efficiency core thing, which is fine, okay? But as soon as you launch any program that demands performance cores, your efficiency cores are automatically shut down. They're put into idle, and the program gets put into the performance core area with your performance app, which is affecting its performance as well. You're overtaxing the damn CPU, okay? Then you start, you're going to be taxing the GPU as it is. You're going to tax it even more so. So this is where I got to do a video for you guys to teach you guys how to actually run a computer effectively, efficiently, and with the most benefits. But at the same time, I'm also going to show you how to survive for at least another year and a half with 16 gigs of RAM. Because you can do it if you learn to actually run the damn computer within its limitations. But if you don't want to, you're always going to have issues, and now you're going to be like, I need 16 gigs of RAM, what's enough? Okay? Anyways, but it's also a 20-core GPU in this when you go to the higher level. 64 gigs of RAM is where I'm looking because of the gaming that I want to be able to do with this thing, that I'm pretty sure the CPU power will be more than fine, okay? We're just kind of wondering if the GPU is still going to be strong enough, but it should be, hopefully, at least to give us some decent results. 1 terabyte of storage is where I'm after. This computer is going to have to last me not only for the duration of my contract, but it's also going to have to last me after that, because this will be the last contract I get involved with for financing for a computer. So this thing's going to have to last me 10 years, okay? My PC will probably still be good for 40 years, but this thing's only going to last me 10. And then after that, well, I don't even know if we'll even be able to use OpenCore Legacy Patcher at that point, because Rosetta is being kiboshed in 2026, which means no more Intel apps. So it's going to have to be a pure Apple Silicon app. The OS will be pure Apple Silicon at that point, no more universal operating system, which is also taxing us, by the way, too, as far as performance, because we don't have a raw, unadulterated version of Mac OS that is Apple Silicon only, because they're still supporting Intel Macs. And until they stop supporting the Intel Macs, we will not see an actual operating system that is properly and fully accelerated to take advantage of Apple Silicon. So And same with our apps. We're going to be running a lot of universal apps right now, which, I mean, even Logic and iMovie and all the other usual stuff, GarageBand, they're still all universal apps. So they go one way or the other, right? So until they become fully Apple Silicon only versions where they won't run on an Intel, yeah, we're not going to be able to take full advantage of them either on Apple Silicon. Because you didn't know that stuff, did you? Okay, now you do. So now you see other things that cripple us other than efficiency cores. The software is still crippling the full-out capabilities of these Macs. These things are going to perform so much better once we can ditch Rosetta, okay? Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be pissed because, well, all my current games right now either run under Rosetta or they're a universal, okay? And that kind of sucks because I'm going to lose out on a lot of those apps in the future, okay? So if I reload my computer after 2026, no Rosetta means no translation layer, which means Apple Silicon only. And yeah, it's going to hurt. And that's the way things are going. And so we have to comply. It's just the way it is, right? But Apple still needs to listen. But this is going to cost me $3,149 before I put the extended warranty, which I will be putting a 3-year warranty on this on top of the price because I want to cover it for at least 3 years. Then after that, I can renew it. Apple gives you like 40 some days to renew your warranty after it's expired, which I'm still hanging on the fence of, do I want to put another warranty on my Mini? Probably not. Hasn't died yet. And once I get a new computer, I could care less. So, because it's more than paid for itself already. So I'm fine with that if it dies after I get a new one. But I would love to have a new M4 Studio and a jacked up one. But I also can't justify more than probably $4,000 tops. And that's everything, which means I'm still not going to get the top of the line studio, but I would get a studio that would be very well kitted. And because I know what it takes to run software on these damn things, especially games, even now, I'm not going to go below 64 gigs, or I can forget proper AAA gaming play. Because your GPU uses system RAM for its graphics, and games that are AAA require a lot of video RAM. And if you don't have the RAM available, you're going to have a problem. And we end up in a bigger boat problem, even with Apple Silicon accelerated apps. Because it's integrated video, they do have to rewrite the coding to deal with it, but it still doesn't deal with it completely. So you really, whatever it does say for RAM and GPU requirements, okay, you can count on it being a little bit more than what it's actually saying to properly run, which means an expensive Mac, okay? I mean, it's always been that way with Apple, though. Like, if you ever wanted to have top-level gaming and top-level video editing and all that other crap on a Mac, you had to spend a lot of friggin' money, which meant you went to a Mac Pro or an iMac Pro back in the day. Because anything else below them, they're substandard systems. I mean, some things they can do pretty good, right? Especially when you ran Windows 10, some of the systems would still do fairly good, and I've had a few of them. But then anything below those, forget it, you're screwed. And not once has Apple ever made a true, real pro-level laptop, even though they call them pros. They're really not a professional level, okay? They're professional typewriters, yes, but they're not pro-level machines the way a pro-level machine should be, okay? So, but people get, screwed all the time because they don't know any better. They don't understand the technology. All they know is, I want to turn it on, I want to do this and then do that, and if it does it, great. If it doesn't, I guess I screwed up, I'll have to buy a better machine next time. And so if you don't learn this technology, you're never going to understand how to buy things right, which is why I try to do my best to help you to buy things right so you don't get yourself screwed. And you can stop paying attention to all these other channels that go from awesome to good grief, I screwed up. that's their bad. If they haven't learned by now, they're never gonna learn. Okay, I mean they've had 4 shots at this with M series chips, and they currently still haven't learned anything. So, but anyway, whatever. It is what it is. But we have more drama too, where I watched another video this morning, and this guy got on and he's blaming the M4 for screwing his files. This is on a Mini. And it's like, no, that's not what screwed your video files. What screwed your video files was DaVinci. Okay, because DaVinci is really not set up yet properly to deal with the M4 chip. Okay, we're still waiting for an update for that. But DaVinci in itself, although it's a very powerful editor, offers way more than what iMovie does, and though also being free, they do have a paid version if you need the other 4 filters that you don't get. I actually had a chat with him on the phone once, and you know, so the difference between paid and free is a few filters. That professional video editors would need those filters, so they'll pay for the program. But you know what? You'll do even better with Final Cut Pro for far less money than DaVinci, and Final Cut Pro is far better than DaVinci and stable. And it's Apple software after all, so, you know. But I have had nothing but grief with DaVinci over the years, Mac and PC, where it's going to get bug fix after bug fix after bug fix. Well, they fix those bugs, but then the new fix gives you more new bugs that they got to worry about next time around when they get those reports in from people complaining. And it's been a program that also still takes a friggin' boatload of time to fire up, and then quitting at least is a lot faster than what it used to be, but fire up time is still like Final Cut doesn't even take that long. Okay, I mean seriously, DaVinci has its good and bad points. I mean, I don't know how intense this guy was going. I don't know the exact configuration of his computer, but I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter. What screwed his files was not the computer or its configuration. It was definitely DaVinci was the problem. And I'm not the only one that told him that. And, you know, so I've told him, you know what, you got iMovie, you got Final Cut Pro. You know, another guy said try Final Cut Pro, because that program is the bomb, right? I don't know too many Mac users that don't use Final Cut Pro, so... You know, I mean, I don't use it just because I'm a basic kind of guy. So I use iMovie. But, so there's more drama there. There's the drama of the great I screwed up. There's don't buy the M4 Pro until you've watched this on the M4. Because some people are making claims which are absolutely absurd about the M4 chip. And I don't know why that they would think that the M4 chip is better than the M4 Pro chip, because honestly it's not. And you can do all the synthetic tests in the world you want. I'm sorry, but the Pro chip is going to be the better chip in the end, especially if you're looking at gaming, okay? And synthetic benchmarks are bull, okay? They are not real world. Real world testing is where it's really at, okay? But the M4 Pro chip will definitely accelerate because, hey, it's got 8 freaking cores, okay? So I'm kind of thinking, you know what I mean? And if you get the higher end chip, you got 10 freaking performance cores, you know, which you're going to spend more time always in performance cores than efficiency. So how about you say we just force Apple by complaining? Everybody complain. Get rid of the efficiency cores in all the systems, okay? All of them. Just ditch them. We don't need that crap. It's holding us back, and it is. And it's always going to hold us back as long as we have efficiency cores, okay? They're just, they may have 3 gigahertz. Whoopee freaking ding. Okay, the M4 chip is popping over 4 gigahertz for the performance side, but the efficiencies are like 3 gigahertz or maybe less, right? We don't need efficiency. We need computers that can perform. We need computers that when we do something, we don't slow the living hell out of it. So we need those extra cores to compensate the difference. So we can do 2 things at once, at least, and not take from, you know, what's normally 4 minutes, turn it into 30, 40, 50, 60 hours because we want to run 1 or 2 other programs. Okay? Every time I've tested this stuff, I said, okay, I got a program, 4 minutes to export. Okay, I'm going to go fire up video game that's windowed. This way I can check my activity monitor. All of a sudden, I'm up like several hours all of a sudden on my export. And it really does take it. I've done the testing, right? And so if it says it's going to take more hours because you did that, well, guess what? That's going to tell you that performance cores are all taxed to hell because efficiency cores are incapable of running when performance cores are running and vice versa, okay? And a browser is an efficiency core app, but video editors and other heavy-duty programs, they're all performance cores, okay? And when you have them running, all your programs that were on efficiency get pushed into the performance cores, and the efficiencies go. They do get warmer, yes, but that's because they're on the same damn die, okay? That's the only reason. Otherwise, they're asleep. And the same goes the other way. When you're using efficiency cores, performance cores are like, okay? And the efficiency cores take over. And you can run a lot of programs in the efficiency cores and never hit performance because you're not overtaxing them, okay? And you're not running programs that actually request the performance cores. They have to request the performance core, otherwise it stays in efficiency. Now, I'm not saying the efficiency cores are all that bad. I mean, they do have some good points to them, but hell, you want to play a video game, you better have at least 8 cores of performance power just in the cores, okay? Because this is pathetic. A 10-core chip in an M4 has only 4 performance and 6 efficiency. That's a damn joke, okay? It honestly is a joke, whether you want to believe it or not. That is not a machine. I don't care what the price tag is. The point is, you're not even getting what you're paying for. You expected 10 cores. And you bought 10 cores, yes, but you bought it split. And a really bad split, too. When I bought my PC, it said 8 cores. It didn't even mention performance to efficiency. When I looked up the chip number, it's all performance cores, okay? Because I don't go for the efficiency core thing, all right? Because it cripples the system. And the only way it benefits me to get something with efficiency cores, for gaming especially, or taxing programs, is if I have enough performance cores to my side, which means I need 8 minimum, okay? At the minimum. And as far as the GPU goes, well, in PCs, I mean, I only buy PCs that have actual video cards in them, but they all have actual video and integrated, which you can choose which one it does go after if you have a dual system. But if you don't have a dual system, you don't, and that's fine too. But you need graphics power for video editing to a certain point, but you actually do need a lot of CPU power, right? You need about 6 cores minimum for mid-level gaming and 8 cores and up for high-level gaming. You need at least 8 gigs minimum of video, of real 8 gigs of video, for playing 1080p medium graphics at a good FPS. You need hell of a lot more than that if you want to start going higher FPS, but that means you got to drop your friggin' if you want to go with higher FPS, you have a couple of options. You can drop your resolution, increase your FPS, so below 1080, and stay at medium graphics, or you get a higher end graphics card, which is going to allow you to go to the same graphic levels, same resolution, get more FPS, or you can squeeze similar to same results as you originally were before. Higher end video card is going to give you basically the same FPS at, say, 2K, right? So that means I need to go to a 16 gig video card at 4K at ultra graphics to get about 75 FPS out of a game that can run literally at 1080p at medium graphics at close to 200 FPS. There's a big difference, okay? Anyways, take it for what you will. But if you have any questions, you know where they go in the comments below. And we'll catch you on the next one, okay? So, see ya.